All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful like Akim, pushing this word with truth and sincerity. And Shalom to the Akim and Akwa, the listening and learning. All right, may election be upon your house. This is the brother Karatazar of Men of Valor, Las Vegas camp, coming back with another lesson, Lord willing, to be edifying. We're going to start out with this post from the New York Times. It says, Abrego Garcia, lawyers accuse administration of seeking to coerce plea. I'll just read this first paragraph. It says, officials dangled an offer to send Kilmer Armando Abrego Garcia to Costa Rica if he pleaded guilty to criminal charges. The lawyers said in a filing, then threatened to send him to Uganda if he did not. Pretty much, he just was released from a jail in Tennessee, or a prison in Tennessee, on Friday, and then got news. News came out today that said if that he needs to turn himself in on Monday, and he's going to be shipped out to Uganda. This character was the man who was detained, by ICE, and accused of being a MS-13 gang member. Then the government, or the trying to think of the Supreme Court, ordered his return from I believe it was Venezuela, because that's where he was originally shipped out to. And then he was held here, whether it be whether he was and wasn't found guilty yet. He hasn't been found guilty of anything, but they had him detained here in the States. His wife is actually a citizen, and has a child too. But they said he had a choice of, pleading guilty, because after he came back, they put a charge on him of human smuggling, helping other immigrants, cross the border and that sort of nature. So they're saying that it's coercion, and it's just, this devil bringing them hell because he didn't go along with, he's saying it's them trying to take vengeance on him, accuse him just for revenge. And the other article I was reading was to vindicate him. All right. So this has been, he's been in the headlines. You probably, heard of him before, but, hey, this devil's, this shows that, hey, this devil's out to get Jake, And now he could accuse you of being a criminal. We seen that come out in the news, but now they're putting it out in play. All right. That Trump was speaking to Venezuela and Uganda, different countries, about sending his criminals there, But now if he deems you a criminal, then he could send you out there. That's what and it's going to be, shortened and it's going to be real quick, to where you out there, and you may not have even, been on trial like that, but he just deemed you as a criminal and he sent your ass out there. All right. That's what this devil is doing. So we're going to grab a few scripts and close out. Lord willing, to be edifying. This is Psalm 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? And that's what these devils do. They frame mischief by law. And let's go into that word mischief. Let's see what it says. It says, amal, toil, trouble, labor, trouble, mischief. It says grievance, grievousness, iniquity, labor, mischief, misery, painful, perverseness, wickedness. So, hey, that's how they execute their wickedness, man. We know this devil has no care for Jacob. Let's read down. It says, they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous, and the righteous, that symbolized Jacob, Israel. It says, and condemn the innocent blood. All right, whether this man, is innocent or not. All right, whether he is a MS-13 gang member or not. He was in America. His his reputation was a laborer for Esau Edom. Just a blue collar worker. Okay, I believe that's the correct term. So, but yet he's catching his hell, and that's the Lord's judgment. But it's an example. I had a Psalms 37, and it's gonna be 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seek to slay him. That's what Esau really is getting at. Because he gonna cast him out, out of the states and throw him. Instead, they say, oh, you could go to Costa Rica if you plead guilty, or you could go to now once they release him from that, say you could go with your family and wait trial. Now, right after they let him out, they said a day later, they said, oh, now you got to go and turn yourself in, and we're gonna ship your ass out to Uganda. What the fuck you gonna do out in Uganda? All right. So they causing hell on Jake, man. And this is just one example. A lot of Jakes, caught up in them detainment centers. They suffering. I believe it was on Democracy Now. They showed the living conditions. And they ain't right. People be in there with food, water, packed in like cattle, man. One toilet. It's like a holding cell, Hot. I don't know if they got air conditioning, low, very base living conditions. You seen what alligator Alcatraz look like? But they're gonna have to pay for what they do. But those that go through this, they're gonna have to suffer. All right, that's why we push repentance. Because you need to be in good graces with the Lord to, have that covering. All right, and some, as Yahushua says, some may suffer. And we know that persecution is going to come across the just, But hey. That's just what it is. If it's your lot to suffer that, it's your lot. But, Lord willing, you ain't got to. Let me see. Let's see what Yahushua says. Some of you may be... cast into prison. Getting the verse mixed up. Socket, what is it? Wise as a serpent. Yeah, this is what I wanted. I was getting the the verses mixed up. This is Matthew 10 and 17. So this is Yahushua speaking. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in the synagogues, and their synagogues, and that's for teaching the word. Yahushua was speaking to his disciples right here. It says, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in the same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of the Father which speaketh in you. All right. And pretty much, hey, brothers is going to get, locked up. Some brothers will get locked up. All right. Nothing new under the sun. But, hey, Yahushua is preparing us to endure this affliction that's coming, And only the elect, going to survive these conditions. Man, these other Israelites that are locked up right now, they suffering, as a chastisement, and if it's the Lord's will, He gonna do away with them in there. That's gonna be the last of them. All right, and that's exactly what this devil want. All right, this is we're gonna go here. 2nd Esdras 16 and 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And that insurrection is going to be, it's starting out with these ICE agents and, Trump recruiting more and more, officers. But, the start of this martial law, which we're seeing in bigger cities, they could call it what they want, for the betterment of their Trump's cleanup crew. But pretty soon, when that time comes, they're gonna be after the prophets. They're gonna be after, those doomsday prophets, and the sincere believers. All right, the righteous, men serving Yahweh Shem Shai, they're going to be deemed as an enemy of the state. It says, they shall be like madmen. Who's he talking to? Esau, Edom, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So that's what Yahweh Shem Shai, he's going to put the spirit on Esau, Edom to do that. And, it starts with this, man. It starts with us seeing glimpses of prophecy unfolding in little incidences like these. As the scriptures say, make no matter small or great. Let's actually grab that. I ain't pulled that in a minute. Ecclesiastes, I believe. Ecclesiasticus. Let me see where it's at. I believe it's 5. So these are little examples that they're gonna unfold into a big deal. All right, let's get it. Be not ignorant. This is Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. So it is a big deal, because when you see this happening to one man, it says that once it gets pushed through, then it could happen to all. All right. But the Lord said, hey, you make an account of every little detail that these devils is doing. All right. That's why, hey, never trust thy enemy. But we gotta know the enemy. What does it say? Keep your friends close, put your enemies closer. All right. We gotta know the mind of the wicked to see what their next move is, and the Lord gave us their mind and their intents, because He made their intentions. All right. We know that they devise mischief by law. We know that they're that they hate Jacob. Right? They have a perpetual hatred against him. So at the end of the day, we can't trust him. This is a revelation, and that go from your friendly neighbor that's putting on the front, and then calling you a byword behind your back, to the devil smiling in your face, hiring you for a job, man. This is Revelation 12 and 11. It says, and we know that some Israelites look like Edomites. All right, that would be a speckled bird, but their spirit, the Lord lets us discern it. Who they truly are. This ain't a white and black thing. No, this is a bloodline thing. Don't get it twisted, you wacky tacky Christians. So Revelation 12 and 11, and it's gonna be 10, because there's a point in here. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, in the kingdom of our power, and the power of Yahushua HaMashiach, of his HaMashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. See, this devil is an accuser. They accuse, hey, Israel doing this, all right, even though we told them to do that, even though we were making them go off, even though we taught them their wickedness, and pretty much forced them to do wickedness. Israel's wickedness in these times is an agenda by Esau Edom. That's rap music to they clone Tyrone. Go watch the documentary, as a elder apostle Rakah calls it. It says, which accused them before our power day and night. So they're the accuser. All right, just as they're accusing this man, Abrego Garcia, all right, as a gang member. All right, we're gonna go from prophets to doomsday prophets to risks. All right. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. See, the only way we can overcome this devil is by the blood of Yahushua and by the word of their testimony. All right. And they loved not their lives unto the death. And that's prophecy, because our testimony, ties into Yahushua's testimony. And Yahushua's testimony is the spirit of prophecy, knowing what's next to come. So don't be surprised when these things happen to you. Doesn't Peter say that? Let's actually get that. I believe it's 1 Peter. And then we'll jump back here. Be not... I'm going to do another lesson on this. This tie in to what I was just kind of meditating on in the spirit. I just did this one because I was trying to get it out earlier and it ain't come out right. So I had to redo it. Yeah, this is going to be 1 Peter 1. I'm trying to see where to start. Be not... Maybe it's... Yeah, this is what it is. 1 Peter 4 and 12, it says, Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial that which is to try you. And this is a fiery trial, man, this walk. This taking this oath and walking in the stead of Yahweh Bashim Shai. We are being refined. We are being chastised. We are suffering day in and day out. But Peter, the head of the church, that rock, said, think it not strange, as though some strange thing happened unto you. but rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of Mashiach's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. All right. That's the benefit of serving the Lord. We're going to be chastised on this side, but we get to be partakers of that glory. Let's go back to Revelation 12. So, hey, we got to withstand the wiles of the devil, put on all that armor. Revelation 12 and 12, and say, we not going to love this life unto death. Therefore, Revelation 12 and 12, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. So, hey, we rejoice at seeing these things, even though we know it's going to be painful. We're going to live through it. We gotta live through it. We gotta go through it. We gotta be a part of those sufferings. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, and that's his wrath by laws, and then it's also going to be a physical wrath. All right, when he send the troops out on you, but the Lord said he will. When the enemy come in like a flood, he shall lift up a standard. So there's always redemption. There's always a way out with Yahweh Shem Shai, whether it's, him delivering our spirit, all right? Whether we go out on this side, but our spirit is delivered. Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So as time ticks down, this devil's going to amp up more and more. End of story. End of story. So let's get, I believe I had a couple more precepts. Actually, just one more. I believe I already quoted it, but let's grab it again. It's Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah, which has northern kingdom, and Judah would represent the southern kingdom, were oppressed together. All right, that's here in Babylon the Great. We're oppressed together. So now, Trump can deem anybody a criminal and ship them out, send them to Africa. All right. It says, and all that that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. All right, and that's the point. Hey, this devil is refusing to let this man go. He's going to refuse to let Israel go. All right? That's why he's playing games. This man should have, if he wasn't found guilty, he should have been freed already. All right, but they playing the game. Therefore, going into that frame of mischief by law, they troubling him. And I don't know if he guilty or not. But hey, this is just another example of what this devil has the power to do, and what he will enforce these decrees, these unrighteous decrees, until he fulfills whatever goal he wants to achieve. But at the end of the day, the Lord is not going to let him do away with Israel. The Lord is not going to let him fulfill his NWO. All right, and he's going to destroy Babylon the Great. This kingdom is on his way out. Hey, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Till next time, I say shalom. Kwam Yasharallah.